the year. With a very thorough dynamic warm-up, one could actually use the dynamic warm-up as the session itself. This could be very beneficial when the athlete is in season and competing at a very high level. Using a dynamic warm-up would allow the coach to address all of the biomotor abilities, but provide a stress level that is low enough for the athlete to actually recover from the work that matters most on the high-intensity days. Now let's look at some examples of appropriate dynamic warm-up protocols for various situations. First, we'll look at a high-intensity day. On a high-intensity day, we'll do what I call a short warm-up. That will be followed by some dynamic flexibility, some sprint drills, then hurdle mobility, and possibly some nervous system priming work. Let's look at each one of these components individually. In my short warm-up protocol, athletes are in constant motion for 12 to 14 minutes. It begins with 200 meters of skipping, then 400 meters of jogging, and then 400 meters of various mobility locomotive exercises. You can see by the progression of skipping to jogging to the various mobility locomotive exercises that there's a gradual increase in intensity. Also, we're moving from very general activities to more specific activities. Examples of the type of exercises we might do for the mobility locomotives might be backward skip with an arm cross, pick-up runs, or skip lunges. All of these we would do for 50 meters and then just switch out to a different exercise. While these are some specific exercises that I do in my warm-up protocol, the exact exercises that I do and the exact protocol that I follow isn't really important. What is important is that you understand the concepts behind why I'm doing what I do. Following the short warm-up protocol, the athlete's temperature should be highly elevated. This means that it's an appropriate time to perform dynamic flexibility work. Remember, because we're doing a high central nervous system demand day or a high intensity day, we're not going to do any static flexibility. This is because static flexibility may dull the speed-power response. In our dynamic flexibility circuits, we'll do between 4 and 12 exercises. Each exercise will be done for 10 to 15 reps. Some examples of exercises that we might do are split scissors, leg swings, or a dynamic plow. The emphasis here is on moving the body through extreme ranges of motion in a dynamic manner. Following the dynamic flexibility portion of the warm-up, we'll move to sprint drills. Contrary to popular belief, there's no direct link to technical improvement in the sprinting events and sprint drills. They can be used to teach postural alignment and used for teaching various cues, but I think their main benefit is in increasing core temperature and also making the athlete move through very dynamic ranges of motion and strengthen the muscles that will be used for future speed power movements. Examples of sprint drills involve A-skipping, high knees, and fast leg. Note that on the high intensity day, I've chosen sprint drills which are somewhat specific to the movements and muscles involved in high intensity activities. Following our sprint drill series, we'll move to hurdle mobility work. Hurdle mobility work on a high intensity day should be bouncy and dynamic in nature. This type of hurdle mobility work will help to increase dynamic flexibility and also produce a slight plyometric effect on the athlete. This will help to prime their nervous system for future things to come in the session. Examples of appropriate hurdle mobility work on a high intensity day might be side kicks, dynamic alternating walkover, and alternating skip over. Following the hurdle mobility work and the sprint drills, the athlete should be good and warm. This is an appropriate time to do some central nervous system prime work. We might do stuff like build-ups, or on some days we might just do a sprint off of 10 meters following the sprint drills or the hurdle mobility work. This should be sufficient to prepare the athlete for highly ballistic or explosive activities that will follow. Now let's